You know what? I do agree with this one. I don't think Drew Hutchison is the answer from what I've seen so far for the Bulldogs number 7 jersey. Um, I think Sexton has to have a go there. If the Bulldogs are serious about changing their attack, so far the first 2 games, it just has not been there. They don't look as threatening at all. They were a lot more gritty yesterday, which was good to see, but they're not going to be able to win games 0-all. You've got to score points to win a game. So they've just got to make that call. And there's some other positional changes that I still question, but I agree with Will Kennedy. I thought he was great yesterday. I thought he helped and was pretty crucial in a lot of their plays. The Sharkies still weren't quite what we expect from them, even from an attacking point of view, but Will Kennedy was definitely tough. Yeah, I 100% agree here. I thought the Parramatta defence was good. This is obviously coming from a Parramatta fan, especially considering the quick reshuffle they had to make in that side, which isn't ideal at all. Look, I still don't like the fact that left edge was missing so many tackles. I know it was a makeshift one. Morgan Harper moved over, Kelmer moved over. Conveniently enough, it's the 2 Manly rejects that Manly didn't want anymore, so read into that what you will, but it is hard to be too critical of them, but I do think their first up contact for first grade footballers wasn't up to standard. But our goal defence as a whole, as a team, I thought was quite good. The fact that Penrith only had, I think it was Penrith had 71 territory in the end. I think they had up to 80 after the first half and only beat us by 8. I say us being a Para fan. I thought it was a great effort by the boys. Yeah, look, I got to give massive raps to Junior Paulo at the moment. I thought both his games so far coming off the bench has been really, really strong. A lot better than last year's form, whether that was because of the extra fatigue with the World Cup, etc. I thought he was one of the players that really was impacted by that. But I do agree here, Junior Paulo was massive again yesterday. Even he's offloading, he wasn't just offloading at will, he was timing it, he was taking the big hit up if he needed to. There was a couple of times where it looks like the boys were tired, and he was the one wanting to take that hit up, which I really like to see. I think last year he would have been one of the ones that just sort of sat back, but he's getting involved now, and good on him. I really like to see that from Junior. Look, I do agree. The only reason I do agree with this, normally I don't give a shit about it. It's rugby league, it happens. It is grubbiness. I don't like it at all in the game, but I've seen it so many times happen. The first half, it was penalised with Hopgood was doing it to... maybe it was Dylan Edwards actually. It was the roles reversed, and he got penalised for it. It was right near the end of the first half, and I was thinking, oh, come on, that's a bit of a penalty that's a bit soft. And then to see it happen again in the second half, Dylan did exactly the same to Cardi's face. I just thought there was a lot of decisions that were like this yesterday. I'm sure there'll be points to talk about it in some other posts, but it's just there was so many calls that the referee just felt like. Now, I don't want to say that it is happened, but he may as well have put his Penrith jersey on, if we're being honest. Look, I don't know if I can go that far with Fix. As I said, there was definitely some decisions that weren't ideal at all, and head scratches to say the least. So let's see if the NRL does come out and own some of these errors last night, like the Luai, which I'm sure we'll get onto. That was an absolute cluster, you know what. Now, what I can feel like you're talking about when you mention this one is the interchanges. Brendan Hands has stayed on the bench when we were down to a 2-player bench, which, first of all, I didn't really get because it was foul play on Bailey Simonson. I know Luai wrongly was kept on the field and not sin bin, but still, I thought foul play resulting in a HIA meant your 18th man was activated straight away. Let me know, message the page about that to clear that rule up. But I just thought the Eels looked a bit dudded there. But yeah, I was exactly the same here. BA just, it was like a pride thing. It was like with Kelmer as well, sticking him to the centres where their first 3 tries went down there. I don't blame Penrith. Targo looked like the biggest beast centre of all time. He needed to make a change there. And that's the biggest criticism of BA sometimes. He gets a bit headstrong, his pride gets in the way, and he doesn't make clear decisions. Hands should have come on. I don't know what was going on there. Mate, preaching to converted here, there should have been a sin bin for Luai 120%. That first one, that high contact, we literally seen it in the game before where Niakura was binned and they went back to it a set later. Where this one, it was all well and good. Like literally, Bailey actually went off. The first one in the Sharks game, they just kept playing on. All players were sweet. It was all good. This one, Bailey couldn't come back on the field. He went off. He was dazed. He can't remember anything that's happened here. So the fact he stayed on the field, Parramatta was so impacted by it clearly moving forward. That left edge was absolutely messed up onwards, and Penrith rightly so attacked it and did it well all game. But Luai should have been binned for at least one, and the trip was so obvious as well. I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but that was both were huge moments in the game that could have had Parramatta on the front foot, and instead it's just a report play on. Absolute bullshit. The forced penalty for the obstruction, so good, highlight of my week. He's loving this Mika. This is his pet love. Everyone knows Mika from the Wednesday show. So what he's saying there is when the Panthers do their run around the back and you sort of see the players stop and halt, and then they just get tackled, Parramatta actually just made him keep running to force the penalty and force the referee to give the penalty, which he would have hated deep down inside the ref. But yeah, good play. Love to see it. Mate, this has been a huge talking point for me throughout the off-season for both the League of Interest page and the Talking Para podcast that I am on. I think our backline depth is horrible at the moment. It's going to be really, really tested on the weekend now with no Bailey, it looks like. It's been an issue all pre-season, and it's not going to get fixed. Unfortunately, two of our young guns, Arthur Miller-Stevens and Richard Penasini, are out with ACLs as well, which has not helped. Both are really good, bright futures, have bright futures ahead of them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, it is very, very eye-opening what's going to happen next week moving forward. If I was Parramatta, I'd be going out straight away, trying to find at least one backline depth. Obviously, they're after Lomax. They're not going to get him straight away, so they need to come up with a quick fix first that's going to actually hold his own. This was a huge head-scratcher, and obviously they scored off this one as well. The guy was right in the ruck, and I thought as soon as you're in the ruck, players down. I've seen it countless times, the game is stopped. Again, it wasn't stopped. Penrith continued on. It was literally a 4-on-1 in the end. Like the kick, well done. Yo got it right, but he could have easily just went through the hands and they could have walked over the line. It was that much of a hole. I've seen it happen before, but it is what it is. I guess we can't go back on it. It is a loss.